everyone. I hope you're doing absolutely fine. Jai Hind to all of you. Now, as we all know, AFCAT 2 2025 examination is going to be conducted on 23rd of August. So 23rd, 24th August को AFCAT के exam है. And since we have AFCAT examination which is round the corner, it's certainly very much important to have a proper current affair session. ठीक है जी? Because AFCAT के exam आ रहा है. Now let me tell you why this session is so much important. This session actually is going to be very much important. But what is the reason? It is not just for the AFCAT aspirants. In this session, what I have done is, it's a very special initiative. We will be doing 50 to 60 questions and each question is going to be a top-notch current affair. So from India's HDI rank to, I would say International Year of Millets, International Year of Camlets, or whatever international year we have, we are going to be discussing each and everything. So it's a very free initiative we have, especially for the defense aspirants. But anybody who is preparing for civil services or state PCS examination, I can assure you, you can take full advantage of this very session. हर एक students जो है, वो full advantage ले सकता है इस session की. And I am very much sure that you will be taking full benefit of this very session. So that's me, Akash and Dev, and it's a very small initiative of Sharad Mudgal sir and me, that is Akash and Dev, and we are just doing our bit to help defense aspirants who are going to serve our country in the long run. So I am hopeful that you all take full advantage of this session. That's what the idea is. Just sit through the session and you will realize that what this session has to offer. ये सेशन क्या चीज आपको ऑफर करे, you will realize that. Before I start this session, there is a small line which I remember from 3 Idiots. हाँ जी अतुल, बिल्कुल मिलेगा, जैसे कल का मिला था PDF मिल जाएगा, don't worry. I'm sure you remember that line of Rancho. Rancho क्या कहता है 3 Idiots में? Rancho says कि ज्ञान तो हर तरफ बट रहा है, जहां पर भी आपको लगता है बढ़िया ज्ञान मिल रहा है वहां से आप ले लो. So that is something which I always believe myself as well. कि भाई जहां पे भी आपको लगता है कि you are getting the quality, you should always grab that quality and you should always be taking full advantage of that particular thing. So hi Asta, Vinayak, Raman, Atul, Siddharth, Tanuj, SK Rana, all the people out there, welcome to the session. And of course now we'll be starting with this very session. Okay, without further ado. So it's going to be very much beneficial, full on beneficial. All the information which is going to be there, it is going to be very much beneficial for all the examination you are preparing for. I can assure you that. So let's start the session with it. Here we go with the first question which is there on your screens. Now this is very much important information. Focus है. It says United Nations General Assembly UNGA declared which year as International Year of Women Farmers? Now this is the very first question and you can see how important this question is. Tell me. International Year of Women Farmers, which year do we have? Now that is the first question. Okay, nahi Karam, this is the first one. First year. Okay, so I shared that with you guys because मैंने लगा भी तो अनु भी help मिल जाएगी. So basically this session is going to be in Hindi and English only, so you can take full advantage of that. Okay, so when we talk about International Year of Women Farmer, that is year 2026. Remember this thing. Now, you have to understand that UNGA recently declared 2026 as the International Year of Women Farmers. This is a very important information. That's one thing. Now, I'll tell you how we can make this information even more important. Now, remember this thing. 2026 is International Year of Women Farmers. But you should know that 2025 is International Year of Quantum Science and Technology. You should also know that 2024 was the year of camlets. You should know 2023 was the year of millets. So this is how you decode the information. So this question can be there, that International Year of Women Farmers, which year? 2026. International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, 2025. So this is going to be very much important. In fact, 2027 has been declared as International Year of Sustainable and Resilient Tourism. So this information, you can make a note of it. Proper note you can certainly make of this particular information. Is that clear? So this is how you have to decode the current affairs. You should make proper notes out of it, and I can assure you that this will be very much helpful for you in your every examination, wherever you appear, all the examination, it is going to be super useful for you. I hope the idea is now very much clear to you guys. Shall we move ahead? Okay. Now the next one, Kharai camels were in a lot of news. The question is, they belong to which state? Kharai camels belong to which states of India? Tell me about it. Gujarat, Rajasthan, MP, Haryana. Of course, they were in a lot of news. We will also talk about what makes them so much special. So let me tell you, Kharai camels are endangered species. They are endangered according to the IUCN. So since they are endangered species, it is very much imperative, it is very much important to protect them. So they belong to Gujarat. To be very precise, if we talk about Rann of Kutch, they come from Rann of Kutch, Gujarat. So it's not Rajasthan, it is Gujarat. And it again is a topic which becomes very much special, very much important from every examination point of view. Now let me tell you one thing, Gujarat is the right answer. If we talk about Jamnagar district, around 600 camels we have. Now the problem is this is an endangered species according to the IUCN. And let me tell you, they feed on the mangroves. It's very hard to digest mangroves, but their system is like that they can swim. They swim very nicely. Plus they also thrive on, or they eat what? They eat mangroves. Now let me tell you one thing. Mangroves are very difficult to digest, but their body is like that they are able to digest mangroves very nicely and very effectively. Okay ji? So Kharai camels from Gujarat. So you have to remember which information about them. आपने बेटे याद रखना है गुजरात से. Okay, they are endangered species and we have very less number of left, and they main feed on mangroves, and they can also swim very much nicely. They can do hours and hours of swimming also. This is the beauty of them. So remember this thing, that they are very good swimmers, as you can see in this picture also. Okay, so they are great swimmers. So if somebody asks you which of the following species of camel is a great swimmer, you will say Kharai camels are great swimmers. This is what you need to understand. Is that clear? So I hope you are understanding the kind of the information which we are focusing on. It's a very important information. So that's the basic idea. So word Kharai comes from khar. It means saline. So we also say na khara means saline. So Kharai coming from saline, that is khar. Kutch region of Gujarat, we find that. So recently NGT also said that we should save them. They are known as Kharai swimming camels. Kharai swimming camels, as we call them. So make sure you add this session to your liked videos also, so that you can watch it later on for your revision purpose as well. Okay. So moving ahead, let's move to the next question now. Now this is very important again. By which year has India set a target to generate 100 gigawatt? Now this is actually a very ambitious target. 100 gigawatt of nuclear power. Just imagine this thing. What is the present capacity? Presently, only around 8 to 9 gigawatt we are getting in India from nuclear power. And our target is to go more than 10 times. By which year we want to do this? Think about it. By what year are we expecting to reach this? Now this is a very basic one, but let's see how many of you can answer that. Basic question. Okay, India has set a target of Viksit Bharat. We always talk about India becoming Viksit Bharat. So we aim to be Viksit Bharat by which year? 2047. And this is the year by which we are expecting to generate 100 gigawatt of nuclear power. Remember this thing. So as of now, we have 8 to 9 gigawatt, but we want to go till that target of 100 gigawatt, which is ambitious, very much ambitious. By 2047, we want to achieve that. So remember, by 2047, we are aiming to achieve this particular thing. Now, this is a very important fact. This is a very important fact. So I have a very small suggestion for you guys. For everyone who is watching the session, I have a small suggestion. The suggestion is, take a A4 sheet and keep on jotting down these points on the A4 sheet so that you can revise it later. If you can write down these points on A4 sheet, it will be very much useful. Of course, I'll be giving you the PDF. Don't worry. Everyone will be getting the PDF in the Telegram itself, but it's better if you can jot the points down. It will be very much helpful for you. Okay, so you can have a look. In this year's budget only this was there. So this becomes even more important. Why? because if something is there in the union budget, it will become very much important, and the ambitious target is of 100 gigawatt by 2047. So remember this thing. And what is the net zero target of India? 2070. So India is going to achieve net zero by 2070. So don't confuse. Net zero of India is by 2070, but 100 gigawatt nuclear power is by 2047. All right. Sure. So I'm happy that you all are taking full advantage of this very session. Okay. Moving ahead, let's move to the next important topic. This was again in a lot of news. There is an operation of CBI. So CBI launched operation to combat cybercrime involving various mule bank accounts. We all know a lot of cyber frauds are happening. So which operation was in a lot of news? So you have to tell me which operation has been launched by CBI to target various mule bank accounts. Think about it. So many cyber frauds are happening, and people are based in Delhi, Haryana, UP, Maharashtra, Jharkhand. They are doing a lot of frauds across the country. So which operation has been launched? Now that's a very important operation, let me tell you. This actually is a very, very important operation which we need to be understanding. So think about it. Think about it. So it was in a lot of news, so you should know about it. So for every examination, this is going to be important, that is Chakra 5. So operation Chakra 5 has been launched by CBI. Now that is very important operation. So this is a article of the Hindu newspaper which I have added over here. Operation Chakra 5, CBI arrests one man, cyber enabled fraud case. So they are doing a lot of searches across different states of India. So remember, Operation Chakra 5 was in a lot of news. Which operation are we talking about? Operation Chakra 5. Very much important operation this is. Got it? So all this current affair is very much exam oriented. Is that clear? Chalo. So I'm sure you will be getting to know a lot of new things today. बहुत कुछ नवा ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ. You are going to learn so much new things as well. Okay, so I think that is the explanation of that only. So Operation Chakra 5 has been started by CBI, as I've told you. So they are searching a lot of bank accounts and they are making sure that KYC is complete, because these fraud people, they never do the KYC. है ना? If somebody is a fraud, he will never be doing the KYC. So this is the point we have to understand. Okay, so tomorrow there is also a history quiz. So Sharad sir will be taking the history quiz tomorrow sharp at 9 p.m. Okay, now moving ahead. What is the name of the first FPV inducted under this 8 FPV project for Indian Coast Guard? So let me tell you one thing. This is a question on basically defense equipment. So we find a lot of questions in AFCAT about these kind of questions. Goa shipyard is known for building such kind of equipments. That's one thing. So you have to tell me which FPV for patrol boats was in a lot of news, and it's the first FPV to be inducted by the Indian Coast Guard. That's the question you have. Is it Shaur? Is it Vikram? Is it Adamya? Is it Prahar? What do you think is the right answer? Okay. Okay, Harry. Thank you, Balvinder. Thank you so much for the support. We will be bringing more sessions like that. So that's why I shared the session with you guys, because I know you will be taking a lot of advantage of the session. So it's a very unique name. It is Adamya. So Adamya, fast patrol vessel. It was in a lot of news. So let me tell you, it looks like this. It has been inducted by the Indian Coast Guard, and this is the first vessel. Then we'll have Akshar, Amulya, all these will come, but first one or the lead ship is Adamya. So Adamya class patrol vessels of Indian Coast Guard was in a lot of news, and it has been built by which shipyard? Goa Shipyard Limited, which is situated in Goa. So I have seen most of the ships of Indian Coast Guard, they are mainly built by Goa Shipyard. Got it? So Goa Shipyard plays a very important role in that particular context. Is that clear? All of you. So very basic this was. Okay, let's move to the next one. Now next one again is a very important one. And this question says, what is the target year set by Indian Railways to achieve net zero carbon? See, if I talk about India, net zero target, that is no doubt 2070. Absolutely correct. But my question is, what is the net zero target for railways? This means that when will railway be zero carbon emission emitter? When will railways be emitting zero carbon? So basically it will be absorbing all the carbon it emits. It will be using renewable energy and all that stuff. So that is the question related to that. What do you think is the right answer? Very good. So no doubt railway will be achieving that earlier. But what is the target of railway? That is important. Let me tell you. So 2030 is the right answer. So railway aims, this is the aim of railway, that by 2030 we should be net zero emitter of carbon. Net zero emitter of carbon. This is what is the idea when we talk about. But we are going to do that even earlier. Maybe by the end of this year we'll be doing that. But you should be knowing that the Indian Railway is going to become net zero emitter of carbon by the year 2030. So this is what they're focusing upon. Very important this point is net zero carbon emitter by 2030. So please make sure you write these points precisely. Hanji, kind khushi, definitely. So we'll be having that daily till the AFCAT examination. All right. So make sure you all add this session to your liked videos so that later on you can use that in the revision as well. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you so much. All right. So see, let me tell you one thing. In every session, be it me or Sharad sir, we just focus on one thing, that that the session has to be very much exam oriented. As simple as that. The session will always be focused on your exam, and we will always bring the best current affair which is there for you guys. Remember this thing always. Got it? Chali. So let's move ahead. The next question. Recently, there was a very tragic accident which took place on Lake Tahoe. Unfortunately, there was this tragic accident which took place. A lot of people drowned. They lost their lives. Unfortunate. But my question is, where is Lake Tahoe located? Australia, France, US or China? Now, this is a place in news. So we all know that a lot of place in news questions are asked by various examinations. So Lake Tahoe, it's a massive lake. But where is this massive lake located? Tell me. Where exactly is this massive lake located? Very good. So Sukhpreet, that's good. Anybody else who want to answer that? So it is definitely, now this is an easy one, United States of America. To be precise, California, if we talk about, so California is the state, and Lake Tahoe you can find north of Sacramento city. Lake Tahoe is there in the United States of America. So a massive lake we have over here. So you can see from San Jose you go to Sacramento, and north of this Sacramento we have the Lake Tahoe. On the map you can have a look. All right. Okay. Recently we saw a specific mountain, that is Mount Levotobi Laki. So this was in a lot of news. Where exactly is it located? Now again, this is a place in news kind of a question. So tell me, where exactly is this located? Very good. So let me tell you, basically it's a active volcano. That's why it was in a lot of news. It's a very active volcano. So whenever I say volcano, it can either be Japan or it can be Indonesia. So not much volcanoes over here. So it is of course Indonesia, which is the right answer. Mount Levotobi Laki. So I know it's a very unconventional name. I'll show you the map also. Have a look. This is Bali Island of Indonesia. You come here, east of Bali, here we have Mount Levotobi. So it's very important, and massive volcano erupted in June. So because recent volcanic eruption took place, so you should know it is Indonesia. We have seen in the past that all the recent eruptions have been asked in the paper. Be it any eruption, you will find plenty of questions coming from the eruption. So you have to have a proper idea if eruption takes place. So where exactly is it located? So it's very much important. Sandeep, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So is that clear? So this was in a lot of news. So you just need to understand it's in Indonesia. I would suggest, make a separate A4 sheet of place in news. That's my suggestion, that you can certainly make a separate A4 sheet for places in news, and revise that one day before your prelims examination. Before going to the exam, make sure you revise that particular thing that is going to be of immense importance. All right, very good. Moving to the next one. Now, this is super important question. Let me write. This is very important question. Harop drones were in a lot of news. We all know about Operation Sindoor. Everybody is aware of Operation Sindoor. So during Operation Sindoor, they were in a lot of news. So my question is, Harop drone has been developed by which country? You have to tell me the country of origin. Harop drones. So every newspaper covered this thing. This was all over the newspapers. Tell me. It was used by India to target Pakistan air defense system. Let me tell you one thing. It was, in Operation Sindoor, it was used by India to target Pakistani air defense system, and this has been developed by a friend of India, that is Israel. So it's very important. So Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, has developed this. So you have to know India used that. So it's not from China, of course, but Israel. C is the right answer. Very important this is. So remember this thing. This is from the Times of India. You can see what is Harop drone, you know, weapons used by the India. So you should know during the, and from Times of India only I recognized that Israeli origin Harop drones. You can see that. We have got Israeli origin Harop drones. So key installation nearby Lahore were targeted during the Operation Sindoor. This is from 9th of May 2025 news. Very important from the examination point of view. Got it? So we struck the air defense system of Pakistan using the Harop drone by Israel. Make a note of it. Harop drone of Israel. So I'll be coming up with more questions like these. We will have plenty of questions like these. But this is the first one. Like, we'll talk about artillery rocket system HIMARS. That was also in news. We'll talk about more such systems, but this is one of that. All right. Okay. Moving ahead. Okay. Now, this is a very important news once again. We always talk about semiconductor industry. Semiconductor industry in India. So, which state government has laid foundation stone for India's first gallium nitride based semiconductor fabrication plant? So, now this is a very advanced semiconductor plant. It's not a normal plant. It's a very advanced semiconductor plant. Let me tell you this thing. Because gallium nitride is a wide band gap semiconductor material. So we use gallium, we use nitrogen also. So it has better performance than silicon. Normally people use silicon, but gallium nitride is very nice. So gallium and nitrogen is used. So you tell me about this thing. Which state was in a lot of news? Very good. So yes, it is Chhattisgarh, to be precise. Raipur in Chhattisgarh is certainly the right answer. So Chhattisgarh is the right answer. Very important again this is. Remember, gallium nitride based semiconductor fabrication plant. So this was in a lot of news. So gallium nitride is using, of course, gallium and nitrogen, and better performance than traditional material like silicon. We use the gallium nitride. So it's a science tech current affairs. So it's a science and tech based current affair. Very much important. So we have seen Raipur, which is located in Chhattisgarh. It was in a lot of news for that. So don't worry. You will be getting the PDF. So don't worry about the PDF. Abhi focus on the learning process. Learning is more important than PDF. PDF you will be getting. Don't worry about that. See, I'm not sure about the IIT, which IIT has been involved. But what is more important is where exactly is it located. Got it? Okay, let's move to the next one. The next question is very much important. I'll tell you the reason why it was in news. But tell me about HIMARS, that is High Mobility Artillery Rocket System. So this was in a lot of news. Why? Because military of Taiwan has conducted its live firing of HIMARS. So you know Taiwan military, Taiwan recently used it just to test it. So you have to tell me it has been developed by which country? US, France, Israel or Russia. So whenever I say Taiwan, you have to connect it directly to the one country, that is United States of America. It's a beautiful rocket system. So you should know it has to be US, that is United States of America. A is definitely going to be the right answer. Got it? So you have to understand it's a lightweight system. multiple rocket launcher system like we use Pinaka. It's similar to that. So you have to understand this is how it looks like. This is HIMARS. So this is very sophisticated system by USA given to Taiwan. So you should know about it. So in every examination, you expect these kind of questions. I have seen in all the examination, we have these kind of questions. So you have to be extra careful that how do you tackle these kind of questions. Very important these are. है ना? So I am hopeful that this is giving you a basic idea that, this current affair is very much important. All right. Okay, let's move to the next one. Now the next question is very special question. And let me tell you, it's a much expected question in all the exams. Question says, read it carefully. Which country has recently become 21st country to add euro as its currency? This means which country is the 21st member of Eurozone? है ना? So total 21 countries are there in Eurozone. So which is the 21st member country of Eurozone? Eurozone means countries which are using euro as their currency. So you have to tell me which country am I talking about? Think about it. It was in a lot of news. A country whose capital is called Sofia. The country with the name Bulgaria is the right answer. So remember, Bulgaria is the country. Recently, it has joined the Eurozone. So now let me tell you one thing very clearly. If I talk about Eurozone, how many members we have? 21 members. 21 countries are part of Eurozone. This thing is very much clear. But if I ask you one question, bete, European Union, EU, how many countries are part of EU? That's my question. Answer, you can answer in the comment section. How many countries are part of European Union? It's a political and economic union. It's bigger than Eurozone. So let me tell you, we have 27 countries which are part of EU. Okay, so not every country of EU is a part of Eurozone. Always remember this thing. So how many countries in EU? 27. But how many countries in Eurozone? Only 21 countries in Eurozone. This is a very important information you have to notice. Very important this is. Keep this thing in your mind. Is that clear? So let me tell you why it was a news. This is an article by Hindu. So it says Bulgaria became 21st member of Eurozone, of course. So recently in January 2026, this happened. But if I ask you, European Union has how many members? It has 27 member states. Always remember this thing. So this is the stark difference. So let me show you. This is a beautiful map. These are 27 EU countries. These are 27 EU countries. Now let's decode the countries which are in Europe, but they are not part of European Union. Let's do it. Can we do it? Yes. Let's do it. If I talk about UK, you know UK is not part. Why? Because of Brexit. So Brexit, Britain is out. Let me tell you, Norway is also not a part of European Union. Switzerland is also not a part of European Union. These are the points you got to understand, right? So only yellow countries are a part of EU. So if I talk about EU, so you can see all the yellow countries are a part of EU. This is one thing you have to understand. So this question can be asked to you. So you have to know that these are the countries not a member of EU. Norway is not a member of EU. UK is not a member of EU. Switzerland is also not a member of EU. This is very much important. And of course, Bosnia, Serbia, Kosovo, Macedonia, these are not part of this. Belarus, of course, is not a part. Ukraine is not a part. Moldova is not a part. So please keep this thing in your mind always. This is very much important. Bete clear hai ji? So, yes, see, Norway is a Nordic country. I'm not denying that. But European Union is a political and economic union. So Norway is not a part of that political and economic union. That's what I'm telling you. Norway is not a part of EU. Okay? Sweden, Finland are parts, but Norway is not a part. That's what I'm telling you. So you should keep that in your mind always. This is one thing we have to always understand. But is that clear, all of you? I hope I've made myself very much clear to you guys. Okay, let's move to the next one. Now the next question is about the ranking. Let's do it. Recently, we have Sustainable Development Goal Index. And you have to tell me what is the rank of India. Now this is again very important. Countries and ranking certainly is of immense importance. So you have to tell me what exactly is the right answer. Rank of India in SDG goal index. Tell me about it. Very good. What do you think is the right answer to this question? Rank of India in SDG index. Simple question. Very good. Okay, so there were total 167 countries. India got a rank of 99. Though it's not a great rank, but D is the right answer. So let me tell you, India has a rank of 99 out of 167 countries. This was in a lot of news. That's why we are talking about it. And that's it. So when we talk about SDG index, India has a score of 99th, a rank of 99th. So what do we measure in that? We measure basically what India is doing to achieve the sustainable development goals. So what exactly are we doing for the SDGs? That is what we basically measure here. Got it? So this is what the idea is. Sorry. Moving ahead, what is the rank of India in HDI index? Now this is very much important. Human Development Index. Who released that? Released by UNDP. So UNDP released this. Recently it was in a lot of news last month. So you have to tell me what is the rank of India. Think about it. So very good. It is 130th. 130. Now these are the facts which you have to keep in your mind from the examination point of view. This is again a very important fact. So 130th is the rank of India, 130. So this is an article by Hindu in the May month. It says India up 3 spots to 130th rank among 193 nations. It's not a great rank, but still we have to understand. What is more important is that this year, the report which was given by the UNDP, it has a proper theme. Now what was the theme? Theme is a matter of choice, people and possibilities in the age of artificial intelligence. This also becomes important. So if somebody asks you what was the theme or the title of HDR report of UNDP. So 2025 HDR report has got this theme, that is a matter of choice, people and possibilities in the age of AI. This is also very much important. This can be the question. This can also be the question. And simple question can be that HDR report is released by whom? It is released by United Nations Development Program, that is UNDP. Now this fact becomes of immense importance. From every examination point of view, you have to keep this fact in your minds. All of you. Very, very important this is. Easy? Okay. Out of 193 countries it is. Yes. 130 rank. Okay. Let's move ahead now. Moving to the next one. It says Special 301 report has been published by which organization in the recent times? This was again in a lot of news. Special 301 report. So tell me what is the right answer. Special 301 report. Every year we see that coming. 2022, 2023, 2024, recently 2025. Special 301 report has been published. It is published by whom? Yes, Chirag, absolutely. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you so much. So it is by US, United States Trade Representative, USTR. Very important this is. Let me show you. This is how it looks like. So United States Trade Representative is the one who released this Special 301 report. Every year we see this coming, so it is very much important. So it is related to intellectual property. Very important this is. So India has once again been placed on the priority watch list by this particular report. So you have to understand that. Now, why is it so much important? What makes this report so much important? Let's try to understand that. What certainly makes this report so much important? Because it identifies countries that do not provide proper protection of intellectual property to the US right holder. Now, I'll give you an example for that. Remember, this is what this report is all about. Now, I'll tell you the reason for that. You know about pharma. When we talk about India, we talk about generic drugs. Everybody knows about generic drugs. Now there is a US company which spends $10 billion every year on the pharma, developing a particular medicine. But in India, we make the generic drug out of it. So what happens? All the R&D which they have spent, it goes into the drain. That is the main problem. So that's the reason why we see that we are put under this particular watch list, because we may not be protecting the US patents in India. This is the main reason. So remember this thing, that this priority list is very much important. It's called list special 301 report. So that's why it was in a lot of news. So this can be a direct question in your examination. Any examination you go to, you have to be reading this particular thing. I hope till here every question you have found relevant. Whatever we have studied till here, you must have found very much relevant, because they are relevant for even CDS, for CAPF and for state pieces exams as well. Moving ahead, there is a project known as C-Cure. I'll just write it, C-Cure project. In a lot of news it was. So tell me, it's an initiative of which country? So it's a very special initiative, let me tell you. But it belongs to which country? Very good. So it's an initiative basically to, it's related to carbon. So it's related to carbon, cutting down of carbon. C-Cure project. It's an initiative of which country I am talking about? It's very important. C-Cure. Removing carbon dioxide from the sea, they talk about. Yeah, absolutely. This is a project of UK. United Kingdom is the one which is related to the C-Cure project. So what exactly is it all about? It has begun on the southern coast of the England recently. And when we talk about this particular project, it's all about removing carbon dioxide from the sea. C-Cure project means C-Cure, curing the sea, that's it. So it is very much important. It's basically in the beta stage, it's basically in the testing stage. So it is all about removing the carbon dioxide from the sea. That is what the question is all about. So I hope this idea is absolutely clear. So it basically targets the ocean where carbon levels are up 150 times higher than the atmosphere. This is what the idea is. So just remember this thing. It's all about how do we remove that particular thing. I hope this absolutely is clear. Any doubts? Got it? We are yet to know that this is going to be a great step or not, but still this is happening, so you should be knowing that. The next question is about person in use. Person in use, very important person I would talk about. CAG of India. I'm sure everybody knows that, but this is just a question which you need to know. So who is the present CAG? GC Murmu was the CAG, but now he is no more. Now the present CAG is very easy, K. Sanjay Murthy. So remember this thing, Shri K. Sanjay Murthy is the present Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Article 148 Indian Constitution established this office. It's a constitutional office, so you should be knowing about that. So now I have a homework for you. You should know who is heading the Finance Commission, who is heading the Election Commission of India, and who is heading the CAG as an office. When you go to the examination, everybody should be knowing who is the present holder of these constitutional offices. Very important this is. But is that clear? Okay. Now moving to the next question. Next question again is a very important ranking which you are expected to know before going to the examination. What is the rank of India in the Global Gender Gap Index 2025? That's the question. Global Gender Gap Index, as we talk about 2025. So you have to tell me what is the right answer. So tomorrow same time from 9 p.m. onwards, we have a session similar to this related to the history revision. So those who want, they can surely join tomorrow as well. So Sharad sir will be taking the history revision through MCQs. So it is 131st rank. It's not a great rank, but 131 is the rank which we have achieved recently. So it's a drop actually. If you ask me, 2024, we had 129th rank and we have declined 2 ranks now to reach to this 131. So you have to understand. So Iceland is on the top, you should know that, and we are at the rank of 131. So Global Gender Gap Index, this was the article of Hindu. I have added the snippet. You can have a look. So top countries. Now, let me tell you one thing which surprised me a lot. In the top 5 countries or top 10 countries, you will see African countries like Namibia also. So Namibia is doing great, but we are not even in the top 10, top 20, top 30, top 50, not even the top 100. We are at the rank of 131. So this is very poor rank which we have got. Global Gender Gap Index we talk about. Very bad rank. Now, it's very important for you to know, when we talk about the Global Gender Gap Index, you have to understand this particular thing, that who releases that. It is by World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum is the one which releases that. And it's also important for you to know that what all are the parameters we are basically focusing upon. So all in all, we have 4 parameters. What are the 4 parameters? We talk about economic participation, that's one. So let me tell you, 4 parameters of this report are economic participation and opportunity. Second one is education attainment. Education attainment. Then we also talk about the political empowerment, political representation, political empowerment. And the last one, very important, is health and survival. So 4 things related to women's we talk about: health and survival, economic empowerment, education, and political empowerment. So these are the 4 parameters on which we basically rank our women, and this way India has got 131st rank. So you should be knowing about this thing as well. Very basic this is, but we should have a basic idea. All right, okay, let's move ahead. Now, a very factual question, but that's a very important one. If I ask you, which is the world's largest container ship? So we have so many container ships in the world, but which of the following is world's largest container ship? Let me tell you, it has massive capacity. So you should be knowing containers are carried. So if we talk about containers, this particular ship can carry containers more than 24,000 at one go. So a ship which can carry more than 24,000 containers in one trip, it has to be massive. And the ship which sails under the flag of Liberia, it is MSC Irina. So recently it came to India also. So MSC Irina is the ship. So always remember this thing, it's very important. It also came to India recently. So MSC Irina, you can read over here. This is the one. It is the world's largest container ship as of now, MSC Irina. Massive ship this is. So why it was in a lot of news? Because Hindu also published this particular news. Hindu said that world's largest container ship, MSC Irina, made historical debut at Vizhinjam port, where it is located in Kerala. So you can see in our newly inaugurated port, this vessel came in the June month. So that's why it becomes even more important for us. So world's largest container ship, MSC Irina, you can see this was mentioned in the Hindu. So I expect this question to be asked in your exam as well. So there are high chances that you can have this question in your examination as well. Got it? Okay. So let's now move ahead of this particular thing. Okay, let's do it. Okay, moving ahead. So let's move ahead of this particular question. What is India's rank in the Global Innovation Index? Tell me. Now this is very much important again. Let me tell you, in today's class, 3 ranks are very much important. 1, HDI index. Second, Global Gender Gap Report rank. And third is Global Innovation Index by WIPO, by World Intellectual Property Organization based in Geneva. So this rank is very much important. So you should know about that. And I'll tell you why is it so much important. Why is this so much important? I'll tell you about that. In 2015, in this same index, our rank was very bad. It was around 81 rank. Okay. 81st rank we have at that point in time. But today, we have improved it to 39th rank. So that's why this is very much important. Today, India has got recently 39th rank in Global Innovation Index. So this makes it very much important. So let me tell you, in Global Innovation Index, recently, we have secured rank 39. So this is actually very much important. 39th rank amongst 133 countries we have achieved. This is a point we need to understand. So we had 40th rank, now we have moved to 39th rank, and we'll keep on improving that day by day. So this was around September. In September or October, this rank was out, so it was in a lot of news. In September, October. So remember, rank is 39th. So you have to keep a close eye on all these important ranks which we have talked about. So let me just revise that for you. Okay. Global Innovation Index. What is the India's rank? 39th. You know that. Okay. We recently did Global Gender Gap. I'll just write over here. Global Gender Gap Index. Recently we saw 2025. What is the rank? Unfortunately, it is 131 rank. 131 rank. So don't get confused in that. And if I talk about HDR, that was 130. So please keep a very close eye on that, because in exam there is a high chance of getting confused. So don't get confused at all. Okay, very close these things are. Very, very close. I'll just write again. In HDR report, that is HDI rank, we have seen 130. Global Gender Gap 131. And here it is very good rank, that is 39th rank. So please make sure you write it properly. No scope of error in the exam. Every single marks will count towards your merit. Okay, moving ahead. So I hope session is going on smooth. You are learning so much. Chalo. So next question says, icebreaker missile was in a lot of news. It has been developed by which of the following country? France, Russia, Israel, US. Icebreaker, as we talk about. Good job. Icebreaker missile. So let me tell you one thing. Icebreaker, it has been developed by Rafale Advanced Systems. It has been developed by the Rafale Advanced Defense System, RADS. And RADS belong to Israel. So remember that RADS belong to Israel. So this is why this is the right answer. Israel is the right answer. It's a very important point. So if somebody asks you that Rafale Advanced System belongs to which country, you will say it is Israel. So remember, Indian Air Force is planning to acquire icebreaker missile from Israel. So that's why Israel is the right answer. And it is RAD. So don't get confused. If somebody say Rafale Advanced Defense System, it's a company of Israel. But if somebody say Dassault Aviation, which makes a Rafale plane, which make Rafale fighter jet, so that of course is French, no doubt. That is of France. I hope now you will not get confused. Rafale Defense Company is from Israel, but Rafale plane is from France. So please make sure you keep a note of it. It's very confusing, but you have to have this idea. Chirag, I hope now you have got this idea. Rafale company is an Israeli company, but Rafale plane, which comes from Dassault Aviation. Rafale is not a company name, right? Rafale is a plane name which is made up by Dassault Aviation, and Dassault Aviation is from France. I hope this point is clear now. It's a very basic thing which you have to keep in your mind. All right? Okay, let's move ahead then. Now, this is a beautiful question, I will say. When we talk about wetland sites in India, so recently we have achieved total 91 wetland sites, 91 Ramsar sites we have in India. 91 Ramsar sites we have in India. All right. So tell me, Minar and Kitchen wetlands, they have also been added recently. They belong to which state of India? Very important question this is. They come from which state of India? Think about it. So when we talk about Ramsar sites of India, this actually is a very important question which we need to understand. So tell me about it. It is from Rajasthan. Very good. So recently they were in a lot of news. So they come from the state of Rajasthan. So Khichar and Minar, they are from Rajasthan. And they are very special sites. I'll tell you why. Because Khichar and Minar, they have been added around 4 June, one day before the Environment Day. So they are known for the migratory birds. A lot of migratory birds come over here. So that's why they are very much special. Khichar and Minar wetlands, they are both in Rajasthan. Remember this thing. Now, there was this tweet. But what is more important is, just one day before of World Environment Day, that is 5th of June, we had the theme Beat Plastic Pollution, and we added these two sites, that is Kitchen and Minar, and they took our tally to 91. So how many sites we have? Remember this thing, India is having today 91 Ramsar sites. Ramsar wetland sites. Ramsar means wetland of international importance. Wetland of importance, we have Ramsars. Now I have one more question for you. My question is that which state of India have maximum Ramsar sites? That's my question. Maximum Ramsar sites in which state? Anybody who can tell me? It's a state of Tamil Nadu. Very good. Tamil Nadu alone have 20 sites. Remember this thing. Tamil Nadu alone has 20 wetland sites of Ramsar. So this is important. UP have 10, Odisha have 6, I think, you know. And in top 5, we also have Punjab. So top Tamil Nadu, then UP with 10 sites, then Odisha with 6 sites, and Punjab also 6 sites. So Punjab we can say in top 3. So Punjab is having 6 sites like Beas Conservation Reserve, Harike Wetlands, Kanjli, Keshupur Mani, Nangal and Ropar. So we have these 6 wetland sites which are very much important. I hope this idea is absolutely clear. So top state is Tamil Nadu. You have to remember this fact, and India have total 91 sites, and recent sites or latest sites are these. So which 2 recent sites we have? Kitchen and Minar. Please keep that in your mind. So they are both from Rajasthan. So every question is helping you learn some new facts. Every question is helping you to improve your overall, clarity. Rajasthan have 4 sites. Koldeo, Sambar, Kitchen and Minar. Pehle they had 2 sites only, Koldeo and Sambar. Now they have Kitchen and Minar, so 4 sites are there. Punjab have 6 sites in total, so you have to have this idea. Is that all clear? See, just remember those facts which are important for you. That's the point. Now moving ahead, let's move to the next one. Now it's a person in news. Let's have a look at this. Lee Jae-myung. He was on a lot of news. He has been, elected as a president of which of the following country? Very good. Lee Jae-myung. So was in a lot of news. So tell me. I'll also tell you, why he was in a lot of news. We'll talk about that also. So he's a veteran politician. He's a South Korean. So he's from South Korea. So South Korea he belongs to. And we had a lot of crisis, when he was coming up. And recently he has become the 14th president of South Korea. So very much important. Yoon Suk Yeol, people were not happy with him, and that's why he is the new president of South Korea. So you should know about this thing. But a Ramsar concept has not been taken from Iran. Let me tell you. Just let me tell you one thing. When we talk about, Ramsar Convention, it was signed on 2nd of February 1971. And where it was signed, it's called a place, Ramsar, it's in Iran. So Ramsar Convention was signed in Iran. I hope it's clear, Harry. Ramsar Convention was signed in Iran. That is what we need to understand. Is this idea clear, everyone? So this point has to be very much clear to you guys. So there's a place called Ramsar in Iran. So that's why we call it Ramsar Convention. Yeah, Ramsar, Iran city. Okay. Next question is very much important again. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment launched Waste Picker Enumeration app under which scheme? So now you know that Ministry of Social Justice has come up with this beautiful app, but it is under which scheme? That is what my question says. Absolutely, India joined later. So think about it. So when we talk about Namaste, what is Namaste all about? Namaste is National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. That is what Namaste is, Ministry of Social Justice scheme. So you have to tell me it is basically Namaste scheme under which we have seen that happen. Very important. So I think it's very much easy when we talk about this particular thing. Is that clear? So you have to understand it's scheme like this. You know, for the waste picker, those people who go to different places and they pick the waste. So it is for knowing that how many waste pickers we have, and then we will be moving towards empowering them. This is actually a very interesting thing we need to understand. So remember, Namaste scheme is very important from every examination point of view, because now it has been in news, once again, and we have to have a basic idea. So I'll tell you about that. Don't worry. So when we talk about Namaste scheme, very important scheme this is. So basically it is from 2023. Back in 2023, this particular scheme was launched, Namaste scheme. So it was launched by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Ministry of Urban Housing was also playing a very important role, but mainly this scheme has been launched by Ministry of Social Justice. So we have to have a bare minimum idea about this particular thing. Very important this is. So from 2023, 2024, it was basically launched. So it's very nice platform now they have made in the form of this particular app, Namaste Waste Picker app. So just remember which scheme is for the waste pickers. It is for these. Namaste, National Action Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem scheme basically is going to empower the waste pickers also. Clear? So basically this scheme was for whom? Initially, this scheme was aiming at safety and dignity of sanitation workers. People who go to the septic tanks, they go to the gutters to clean the gutters. This scheme was basically for those people. But now the ambit has been expanded in order to cover the waste pickers as well. This is what we need to understand. So initially, this particular scheme was for just the septic tank workers. Is that clear, all of you? I think the point is absolutely clear. Sahai, 1971 will be the answer if somebody asks you about the Ramsar Convention. All right. So moving ahead, recently we have an island which was in a lot of news. So let's talk about it. Thitu Island. Now that's a place in news. It was in news recently. It's located in which region of the world? Thitu Island. Tell me. So it was in a lot of news. So where exactly is it located? Thitu Island. So China is contending for the sovereignty over this island as well. So that's why it's in South China Sea. So A is certainly going to be the most important, most appropriate answer. So Chinese ship recently, we saw, there was a severe weather. It went to this island, and there was a lot of concern in the, areas of Philippines, because it lies very near to the Spratly Islands. So basically, it's a very, dangerous zone, Thitu Island, where it is located. It's nearby to Vietnam also. When we talk about Philippines also is in this area. So you can have a look. So this is South China Sea, Thitu Island. It's nearby the Spratly Island. So Thitu Island is in South China Sea, you have to understand. Clear? So China wants all the South China Sea area, and that is the main issue of conflict in this particular region. That always has been the point of conflict in this particular region we have to look into. Hanji, Hanji. Haan, kind khushi, they are all same only. Okay, so shall we move ahead? Now the next one, there was a volcano which was in a lot of news. It's called Fuego volcano. Again, this is very much important. So Fuego volcano is located where? Guatemala, Indonesia, Japan, or Philippines? Very good. So it's in Pacific Ring of Fire. I can tell you this thing, but you have to tell me where exactly is it located. Where exactly is it located? So it's in South American, area when we talk about. So it's in Guatemala. A, Guatemala is the right answer. Let me show you. So when we talk about this area, Pacific Ring of Fire, now this is the South America area. Have a look at this. Clear? So now, if we talk about this particular area and even the Central America area also, here we see Mexico and then we have Guatemala. So in Guatemala, we are having this Fuego volcano. So remember, in Guatemala, we have the Fuego volcano. So it's very much important. And recently it went into eruption. So that's why it in a lot of news it was, so we have to understand that. Guatemala is the right answer. Easy. Hanji, that was Indonesia, but this is Guatemala. So not everything can be Indonesia, right? So everything cannot be Indonesia. Kind Khushi, don't worry, bete. You will get to know. Chalo, please focus on the class. The Sustainable Energy for All, that is C for All initiative, was launched by which organization? Is it World Bank, African Union, United Nations, or Asian Development Bank? What do you think is the right answer? Most volcanoes are Indonesia only, don't worry. Think about it. Very, very important question this is. So let's see how many of you can answer that. C for all. Think about it. So basically it's by United Nations. UN, it's very easy answer. United Nations is the right answer. United Nations is definitely the right answer. So why was it in a lot of news? We have a very important PSU, NTPC. So NTPC has signed this proper agreement with UN related to this particular thing. So it is very much important. We have to understand C for all, we call it. So when we talk about the C for all, what is that C for all? It is sustainable energy for all. So let me show you. When we talk about the C for all, this means sustainable energy for all. This is called C for all. SC for all. Have a look at this. So NTPC has basically, signed this agreement with UN to make sure that we produce the sustainable energy. So that's why we are basically promoting C for all, SC for all. So this was in a lot of news. So we have to look into this. C for all, what it is all about. Okay. So it's not a new initiative, it's an old initiative. Sustainable energy for all when we talk about, but still we have to understand this point precisely. It's a target of UN. Okay, now a very important one. When we talk about international, multilateral exercises or different bilateral exercises, we recently have this multilateral military exercise Khan Quest 2025. So it was hosted by which country? Khan Quest has been hosted by which country in the month of June? Tell me. In the month of June, we saw this happening. So what do you think is the right answer? In the month of June. Very easy. So always remember, Khan Quest has always been hosted by Mongolia. See, Mongolia is definitely the right answer to this question. Mongolia is absolutely correct. Is that clear? So Mongolia is the right answer. So Khan Quest, India also participated, and in Ulaanbaatar, that is Mongolia, we have this Khan Quest which was there. So we have to understand. Okay, now it's very easy. Who is the present Chancellor of Germany? Recently we got a new Chancellor for Germany. Who is the one? Tell me. New Chancellor of Germany is Mr. Friedrich Merz. Okay, in the month of May or June he became that. So Friedrich Merz is the new Chancellor of Germany. So just remember this thing. This can be asked as the person in news. So Friedrich Merz is the new Chancellor of Germany. So he is leading the Germany now. Friedrich Merz, very important person. So in European Union or Europe, we have Germany as a very dominant country. So we should be knowing these basic things about Germany as well. Hanji, Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia. Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia. All right. So, moving ahead. What is the name of the operation launched by Iran against Israel's Operation Rising Line? So Israel had this Operation Rising Line, and in order to counter that operation, against Israel, we saw Iran also came up. So which operation was launched by Iran? Very important question. Iran launched which operation against Israel? You got to tell me this thing. Very good. Against Israel. Think about it. So very basic points these are, which you are supposed to tell me. Okay. Chalo, absolutely it is True Promise 3. So Operation True Promise 3. So remember this thing. Israel's strike was Operation Rising Line. We all know that. And then we have Iran's response in the form of Operation True Promise 3. So you should remember these names. Again, this is a very important information which I'm giving you. So in this session only, I think we have done so many questions which are important. Yeah, Shahed drones were also used, of course. But Operation True Promise 3 is something we have to understand. Now, what defines this session? Let me tell you this thing for you. If somebody asks me, you know, why is this session important? I'll just say one thing, that this particular session actually is a benchmark that you have to know these current affairs. These are indispensable for your examination. So you are supposed to know these current affairs at all cost. So this is why we are doing this point precisely. Clear? Moving ahead. Okay, tell me about it. It's related to the farmers. What is the name of the campaign launched to empower farmers by accelerating agricultural transformation in India? So it was again in a lot of news. Tell me about it. So it's a proper campaign which has been launched. So by Union Agriculture Minister, it was launched at Bhubaneswar. So it is aiming to empower around 1.5 crore farmers by accelerating the agricultural transformation. So tell me about it. So we will be spreading technologies in agriculture, in fisheries, in rural areas. What is this called? It's called Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan. So it is known as Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan. A is certainly the right answer. Very important this is. It was in a lot of news as well. So Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan was in a lot of news. It was launched at Central Institute of Freshwater Aquaculture, Bhubaneswar, and it is going to empower more than 1.5 crore farmers of India. Remember this particular scheme, which is quite important. Is that clear? So why is it so much important? Because it highlights fisheries as essential part of rural development and livelihood security. So they say that you should also earn money from fisheries. Got it? Chalo. So now these are very important points we are supposed to be understanding. Okay, let's talk about this thing. Recently, in the newspaper, I could see Perito Moreno Glacier was in a lot of news. So where is it located? Perito Moreno Glacier is located where? Let me tell you, it is also called massive. It is called white giant also. Just for information, I would like to tell you, it is known as white giant. It is massive. In fact, it is also part of UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is of course under threat. So tell me, where is it located? Good job. So it is located in South America, that is Argentina. A for Argentina is certainly the right answer. So let me show you the glacier first. This is how it looks like. Massive glacier. And it is unfortunately crumbling under the threat of global warming. So it is located in Santa Cruz, Argentina. Andes Mountain, you know, in South America. So it's a part of Andes Mountain. And it is a part of Andes Mountain. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site basically. So you got to be understanding this point as well. It was formed more than 18,000 years ago. So it's very old glacier. But unfortunate thing is that it may not survive for a long time because it is now melting under the global warming conditions. That is the problem. Is that clear, all of you? So I hope now you are understanding that how important this current affair is. Hanji, Chirag, absolutely. So let's move ahead. So moving to the next question. Okay. Which organization has launched a digital policy titled Dhruva? So this is a very important policy, Dhruva. Which organization is behind the launch of Dhruva? That is what my question is. So tell me about it. What is Dhruva, by the way? It is Digital Hub for Reference and Unique Virtual Address. Okay. So where we use address, here A stands for address. So address is important not for NABARD, but it is important for Department of Posts. Remember this thing. So now it's a major step towards nationwide digital public infrastructure as we talk about. So we will have geocoding. We are going to use that, and it is going to improve the postal department. So Department of Post has done that. Remember this thing. Dhruva has been developed by Department of Post. Very important this is Dhruva. So I'll talk about that. Dhruva stands for Digital Hub for Reference and Unique Virtual Address. It's of Department of Post. And ultimately, we are going to have a proper geocoded, addresses, and it will help to improve the efficiency of postal department to a great extent. As of now, the postal department is doing good, but it will be doing great by the implementation of Dhruva. So just remember this particular thing. So it's by Department of Post. We have to keep that in our mind. Is that clear? Okay. Moving ahead. Now, one more equipment I have in my mind, we have to ask that. Bayraktar TB2. So it's a UAV, it's basically a massive drone. So it's a massive drone which has been developed by which country? Israel, Ukraine, India or Turkey? Tell me. Bayraktar. So again, that is something which was in a lot of news, so we have to keep that in our mind. Okay, so let me show you a flag. Can you see this flag? This flag belongs to Turkey. So it has been developed by Turkey and it has been used by Pakistan. So we use Israeli drones and Pakistan used Turkish drones. So Turkey has developed the Bayraktar TB2 drones, we have to understand. Turkey, very important. Bayraktar has been developed by Turkey. Easy. So this was quite easy. Okay, just one person in news I want to tell you. You know about Pope. So we have got new Pope. New person has become Pope. And now let me tell you one thing. What is his name? Robert Francis Prevost. He is the new Pope of Vatican City. He sits over there. Vatican City. Now let me tell you what is so much important. He is the first to hold, American Peruvian citizenship. So basically, he is the first Pope to be born in United States of America. This is very much important information you should know. So he was born in Chicago, I think. In USA, he was born. Recently, he became the Pope. So you should understand this thing, that who is the first Pope to be born in USA. He is the first Pope ever to be born in USA. Robert Francis Prevost he is. Now, that's a very important piece of information you have. First Pope to be born in USA is this particular person. Clear? First American Pope, you can say. Turkey is, yeah, Turkey makes good drones, no doubt. Clear? So I'm glad that you all are able to answer these questions. Okay, let's move to the next one. So when we, talk about the next question, it's very much predictable. Which ministry has launched Green Hydrogen Certification Scheme of India? Now, this is very predictable, so I won't be spending too much time. We all know it is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in India, it is the one which has started this particular scheme. We should know about that. So it is about transparency in the green hydrogen. If you say I am producing green hydrogen, nobody knows that it's a green hydrogen or not. So it is related to that only. So you should know that basically it is to create proper framework of certifying the green hydrogen production. Now we all know hydrogen can be produced in multiple ways. You can produce hydrogen by simply electrolysis, but nobody knows that electricity for producing hydrogen is coming from where. So if it is not coming from renewable sources like solar or wind, it is not a green hydrogen. So in order to produce green hydrogen, you have to use renewable energy to produce hydrogen. So that's why we need proper system, and it has been started by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So this is the point you got to understand. Got it? Okay, next one is about a summit. Which state hosted 28th National Conference on E-Governance? Now this is again very much important. So it was in the month of June, it took place in Vizag, that is Andhra Pradesh. So it's very basic one. So in Andhra Pradesh, we saw 9th and 10th June, it took place. Civil services and digital transformation was the theme of this. This particularly was the theme of this, that is civil services and digital transformation. Now this theme also becomes important, especially from the PCS point of view, but you have to have a decent level of understanding. Clear? So I hope this idea is absolutely clear. Now the next one, we have already talked about this thing, Namaste scheme. So basically it was jointly launched by which two ministries? So I think we just talked about that. One is of course Ministry of Social Justice and another is Ministry of Housing. So remember this thing, one is Ministry of Social Justice and then we have Ministry of Housing. So of course we can say C is going to be the right answer. It was launched back in 2023. I think we have already talked about that. So you can see that in the PDF when I provide you. So it was in 2023, it was to protect the safety and dignity of sanitation workers. So now waste picker component has also been launched and it is profiling various waste pickers, which is a great step. So we started with the septic tank workers and now we are targeting the waste pickers also under the Namaste scheme. So we are increasing the ambit of the scheme. We are basically increasing the domain of this particular scheme, which is a great step done by government. So yeah, you should know about it. All right, moving ahead. So now the next question is very easy. We all know in Kerala we have this particular port. It has recently been inaugurated and largest container ship of the world also visited this port in June. So we have talked about that also. It's very basic one, so we don't need to focus much on that. So Prime Minister has inaugurated this Zenjam port, which is in Kerala. So I think it's the easiest question of the day. Next one, we talk about Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, which has been renamed to Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award in India. So who has been given this particular, who has received that, who has been honored with this particular award? You have to tell me. So we have Olympians named as Satvik and Chirag. So remember this thing, very brilliant badminton players, Satvik, Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, they are the ones, very capable players of badminton who have received Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. So it's actually a very important one. So Satvik and Chirag, as we call them, great badminton players. So you have to know they are great badminton players. We have to understand. So they have been performing really well and we expect very soon Olympic medal also from both of them. Clear? So I'm hopeful that now at least you are in a position to have a decent level of clarity on these current affairs. Very important current affairs these are, and we are just supposed to have a decent level of understanding. Okay, the next one, let me load for you. So there is a special equipment known as IGLAS. When you talk about the IGLAS, which is Man Portable Air Defense System, it has been developed by which of the following country? Tell me. So India got a new shipment of Russian air defense missiles, which are known as IGLAS. So it is Russian. A is the right answer to this question. IGLAS is Russian. Easy. Very important this is. So you have to have a basic idea about this thing. So it is something like this, as you can see on the screens. IGLAS. Got it? Okay. Moving ahead. Recently, we saw 5 years of Swamitra scheme have been completed. So firstly, you tell me which ministry is the nodal ministry of this. Then we'll talk about this Swamitra scheme because it has been in the news for quite some time. So what exactly is Swamitra scheme all about? Swamitra scheme is survey of village and mapping with improvised technologies. So it is Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So you have to have a basic idea about this thing, that this ministry have been doing a great job. So it is not rural development, it is not agriculture, it is not urban. It is B, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, which is the nodal ministry for Swamitra scheme. This again is the information which is very much important. So let me tell you one thing. When we talk about this scheme has completed its 5 years, And this is one thing we have to always understand. Swamitra scheme. Now, when we talk about its launch, it was launched in 2020 and it is all about drone based surveys just to make sure that the property cards are created and the property disputes are reduced, especially in the rural areas. We see a lot of property disputes happening. So main goal was to reduce these property disputes. So this is the main idea which we have, and it has generated more than 2.4 crores of property cards all across the country. So what were the objectives? To create accurate land records, to bring financial stability to the citizens of the rural India, to determine the property tax, to create survey infrastructure, to support the preparation of better quality Gram Panchayat development plan. So all these things are the focus areas of Swamitra scheme we have to understand. I hope this idea is absolutely clear. So just in case you are not able to understand that, you surely can let me know. Got it? Very basic point. Moving ahead. Now this is an easy one. Anthony Albanese. Recently, he has been re-elected as which country's prime minister? Very important person he is. Anthony Norman Albanese, as we call him. So let me tell you, since 2022, he is the prime minister of Australia and recently got elected again. So he is Australian prime minister. So now these are very prominent ones. Well, these are the, because India is a part of Quad. So I'm sure you know about the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. So we have India, we have USA, we have Australia, and we have Japan. So you have to have a bare minimum idea about who is leading these countries. So that's why Australia Prime Minister becomes important for us. This is the reason why I have asked this question to you guys. Got it? It's not a random question. It's a very important question which you have to be understanding very much precisely. Is that clear? Okay. So let's move to the next one. Recently, we have this Qasim ballistic missile. I'm sure you must have seen that in a lot of news. It was there. So the next question is basically based on them only. So who will tell me they are belonging to which country? Can anybody tell me? These are the missiles. Recently, they have been used by which country? They were unveiled. They were unveiled to the world in May 2025. And think about that. So it is by Iran. So in the recent disputes, Iran actually unveiled these. So remember, Qasim Basir ballistic missiles are of Iran. So very important ballistic missiles these are. These are basically medium range ballistic missiles which have been used by Iran. In the recent times, it was in a lot of news. So you should be having this bare minimum idea. Is that clear? So it has a range of around 1000 to 1200 kilometers and very accurate missiles these are, which have been developed recently by Iran. So you should be knowing that thing. Clear? So used by Iran. Okay, moving to the next one. Now this is again a very important one. The question says, what is the name of the digital platform being developed by Election Commission of India to streamline the electoral service in India? Tell me. To streamline this particular, voting system in India, what exactly are they coming up with? Very good. So this is actually a very basic one. So let me see how many of you can answer that. Okay, so this question is easy to answer. It was in a lot of news. ECI net. Election Commission of India net. C. ECI net is the right answer. So remember this thing. Election Commission is going to launch this particular thing. And basically what is more important is that it's a single point user friendly interface for the voters. So it's going to integrate so many applications which we are having already into one application that will be called ECI net. So you should know ECI net is going to be the future, in this particular thing, because so many apps are there. They are going to be amalgamating all the existing mobile apps. So this is the most important thing. It is going to integrate so many mobile apps which we have as of now of Election Commission of India into one ECI net. So this is going to be 1 point whatsoever. Is that clear? So this is quite important. ECI net we talk about. Now, moving ahead, let's talk about the next one. IXPE. This project, IXPE, when we talk about, it's a joint mission of which two space agencies? It was also in a lot of news. IXPE. Imaging X-ray Polarimetry Explorer. It is to explore the universe, the galaxies. So it is a joint work, collaboration of NASA and which space agency? Okay, let me tell you, NASA is there. One of them is NASA. Which one is other? Is it European Space Agency? No, it is Italian Space Agency. So remember, NASA and Italian Space Agency is certainly the right answer. So we have to pick C as the right answer. So this was in news, so that's why I've added that. IXPE. So remember this thing. It is Imaging X-ray Polarimetry Explorer, and it's a joint collaboration between NASA and Italian Space Agency. Very important this particular system is, which they are basically developing for the exploration purpose, space exploration purpose. So you should be aware of this particular thing. Clear? So now, why was it in a lot of news? Anybody who can tell me? Is there specific thing which they are doing? Tell me about it. Very good. So think about it. They are basically for studying the black holes, extreme high gravity, the objects which we have in the space. So let me tell you, the black hole jets, this mystery has been solved by this particular explorer. So this is why it was in a lot of news. So it's a joint satellite mission by Italian Space Agency and NASA, and it was jointly launched back in 2021. So it has already been there in the space for quite some time, and it is basically to measure the polarization of X-ray light. It also helps scientists to study extreme cosmic environments. So basically it is focusing so much on the black holes. That is why it is in a lot of news. So it is already launched. It has already been launched. हाँ जी बिल्कुल बेटे लंबी चल रही. So any doubts, in case you guys have, you surely can ask me. I think that you are gaining something from this session. Okay. Moving ahead, the next question, let's talk about Scalp missile system has been jointly developed by UK and which of the following country? Is it France, Russia, India and Japan? UK and which country has jointly developed the Scalp missile system? So that's quite important. Storm Shadow also we call it. So okay, let me give you a hint. When we talk about Speaker Jaguar, it has also been launched by, it has been developed by which countries? France and UK. Similarly, this also has been launched, jointly developed by France and UK. So you have to understand, it is France and UK. Very easy this is. So Scalp missiles were launched from Indian Rafale fighters to hit the terrorist infrastructure in the POK. So that's why Scalp has been in a lot of news. So Scalp is a joint venture of UK and France. We have to talk about. So don't worry, screen is going to be there only. So don't worry about that. I hope this idea is absolutely clear. Everyone. But a point clear? Okay. Moving ahead. The next one. What is the IUCN status of snow leopard? We see snow leopard is in a lot of news most of the time. So let me ask you, what is the IUCN status of snow leopard? That is my question. Next question. Tell me about it. IUCN status of snow leopard. Very basic question. Now we'll be going a bit fast. Very good. So when we talk about this thing, it is VU, that is vulnerable. Vulnerable is the IUCN status of snow leopard. Let me tell you this thing. Very important. This point is, it is vulnerable IUCN status of snow leopard as we talk about. Vulnerable. Fine, Khushi, black hole is extremely high gravity, this area in the space, that is the black hole, basically we talk about. So remember this thing. So snow leopard is basically vulnerable category. We all need to know that. And that's the main idea. So remember, initially any animal is least concern, then it becomes near threatened, then it becomes vulnerable, then it becomes endangered, then it becomes critically endangered, then it becomes extinct in wild, then it becomes totally extinct. So endangered is what? Kharai camel. Today we studied about Kharai camel, that is endangered. And vulnerable is what? Snow leopard. So try to relate these things together so that you don't get confused. In order to protect yourself from any sort of confusion, you can do this particular thing. Is that clear? So I'm hopeful that now you have got a decent level of clarity that how in the first place you have to be answering these points precisely. Okay, moving ahead, let's talk about the next one. Centralized Information Management System, that is CIMS. This is a portal introduced by which institution in India? CIMS is the question. Very good. So let me tell you, various regulated entities are going to report details of digital lending apps. Digital lending, online loan people take. On this platform, they have to put all the details, and it has been mandated by Reserve Bank of India. So RBI has said that all the digital loan apps have to register themselves over there so that they don't exploit people. So A is certainly going to be the right answer. It is A, which is absolutely the correct answer of this question. Remember this thing. So RBI has mandated this particular thing. So we can see Centralized Information Management System is basically the portal as we talk about. So it's very much important point. Is that clear? So RBI is doing a great step, I would say, because a lot of young people take loans from these digital lending apps and they're not able to give it back. So this becomes a bit of a problem. Okay, moving ahead, let's now move to the next one. Recently, INS Guldar was in a lot of news. So INS Guldar has recently been decommissioned. It has ended its service of around, I would say 40 years. So in January, it was decommissioned. So INS Guldar, when we talk about, so where exactly we are going to build India's first underwater museum using INS Guldar? Tell me about it. In which state are we going to be building that particular museum? So it is going on in a lot of news. So you should know where exactly do we look at. It is Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, we are going to have INS Guldar converted into very nice museum. So what kind of ship it was? When we talk about the INS Guldar, it was amphibious warfare ship. It was amphibious warfare ship. Why is amphibious warfare ships important? Because they act as landing troops. So like, just imagine this is a ship and you have to land your troops on the shore. So they act as ships for landing your troops on the land. So if you have to land your troops on the land, you will be using these kind of ships. Amphibious warfare ships, these are called. So it was recently decommissioned, so it was in a lot of news. Got it? INS Guldar we talk about. Very good. Moving ahead, there is a term which has been making a lot of news. This is known as myogenesis. So tell me, what is myogenesis, which is recently in a lot of news? What exactly is myogenesis all about? It is newly discovered ship? No. Traditional medicine? No. Formation of nerve cell? No. It is formation and development of muscle fibers. So why has it been in a lot of news? Let me tell you. We all know that group captain Subhanshu Shukla went to space. There he conducted experiment of myogenesis. Remember this thing. So this is something it looks like, satellite cells, myoblast, myotube, muscle fiber. So this is how it basically looks like. So you have to understand that during the Axiom mission, when group captain Shukla went to the space, there the myogenesis experiment was performed, which is actually a very important thing. This is why it is important from the examination point of view, because recently this path breaking myogenesis experiments were performed in the space station. So how do we maintain the skeletal muscle tissues and all these kind of things? So this is what we have been talking about, myogenesis. Got it? So I think it's clear. Next one, it's very easy one. Football for School program is run by FIFA in collaboration with which of the following? WHO, UNESCO, World Bank, or UNDP? Think about it. So it's very much active in India. This program is actually very much famous, or I would say active in India. Very good. So it is of course UNESCO. Where the children are involved, we have to talk about UNESCO. So FIFA in collaboration with UNESCO is running this particular thing. So UNESCO is the right answer. It is certainly UNESCO which is the right answer of this particular question. हाँ जी, हाँ जी. Now, so let me inform this particular thing that tomorrow we have got history lecture as well at 9 p.m. We have the history lecture, as you all are aware of. And in the comment section, you certainly can see the WhatsApp group as well for all the updates, which you certainly can join there as well. So I hope now you have got a decent clarity. I think it is enough for today. For today, we have done so many questions, which is good to go. So I'll be, soon doing one more session on the current affairs, which again is going to be very much helpful for you guys. But for today, I think we have done a great job. So thank you so much, first of all, everyone, for joining in the session. You all have, taken out your time and you have joined the session. I hope this session has added a lot of value to your overall preparation. उम्मीद यही करता हूँ that your overall preparation has been, improved by joining this particular session. Thank you, Jagrup. Thank you, Jaspine. Thank you, everyone. In fact, you have, joined this very session and you have watched till the end. That's more important. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you so much. So I'll be wrapping this session over here. So every evening at 9 p.m. you can consider, joining these particular sessions, which are going to be a game changer in your overall preparation. So 9 p.m. live is going to be the time. If you're new to the particular session, you can certainly subscribe. Thank you, Astha. Thank you, Kind Khushi. Thank you, Chirag. Thank you, Supreet. Everyone, thank you so much. So I hope, I think it's better to take the rest now. And thank you, Anmol. Thank you, Simran. Thank you, Pasna. Everyone. So it was great having the session with you guys, and you are going to have top-notch sessions on this channel, which are going to prepare you for your exam. Okay, chalo, Chirag, I'm happy that it is this way. So it can be any examination you're preparing for. These sessions are going to be game changer in your preparation. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and in the pinned comment, you can see the link, which you certainly can explore as well. So thank you so very much, and you can certainly join tomorrow at 9 p.m. sharp for the history session. Thank you so very much.